what it sounded like was when you've been in a relationship for a long time and you have roles that need to be done within the family, it can become monotonous. She said that I feel like a robot because she's just doing monotonous tasks, kind of like wake up ABC, go to sleep ABC. And I think a lot of people who when you structure a family, that really is a large portion of what family life is. You have a set schedule or you have things that have to be done daily, and you can fall into that, man and woman, right? The the thing about not feeling seen or feeling like a ghost, I think that comes when you all don't prioritize time for you two. When you just fully function off of what is the duty that I have for the family, let me get that done, and then you don't reserve any time or energy for yourself to reconnect with your husband or wife or loved one. I don't think that's a modern thing. I think that's a forever thing. As long as people have had tasks and responsibilities, it's easy to shuffle the personal time and connect into the back of the bus. And any healthy relationship requires that y'all figure out ways to reconnect, even if it's like the 40 minutes before y'all go to sleep, or the texting throughout the day, or it's a myriad of other ways in which you can find ways where y'all have intimate time to be together. Um, and it doesn't have to be sexual. It's not all sexual, right? Intimate time where y'all connect with each other. And anytime you negate those things, you will find yourself in this situation, which causes a rut. And communication can fix it, and not communicating leads to gaps, which can create larger issues within a relationship. So I don't think he was being, in my personal opinion, just based off my personal bias, I don't think that was from her not looking at him, but I think they might have just fell into a rut.
I like that. Go ahead, brother Hank. Why men keep their feelings to themselves?
Well, seeing this video is a great example why. Because women don't allow men to be vulnerable or have a vulnerable space. Because soon as you want to express yourself or be vulnerable, for some reason, whatever she has going on is way more important. You can't even get through the whole situation before she starts telling you about her day at work and what Nancy said to in the break room. So, ladies, when you don't allow your man to be vulnerable, then you wonder why he shuts down or shuts off, or end up having that conversation with somebody else that you may not approve of because of situations like this, like what they go into counseling trying to get that stuff resolved or these issues taken care of. But she just couldn't focus on this man's issue to that point, get through what he's going through, and then let's address you secondary. Ladies, why do you feel like you always need to be first and the priority all the time? Zoe Garlington. I don't understand that at all, but that's just the way it is. So when a man starts shutting off and not sharing stuff, it's going to be a problem. Because now you wonder how's he relieving his issues or unloading his burden. And again, you may not approve of where he goes because you're not giving him the space. You're not allowing him to express himself. And most of the time, it won't be a long, drawn out conversation with men. We're gonna say it, think about it while we're saying it out loud, and we're gonna get past it. But ladies just won't let that happen because she's got to feel like, oh well, yeah, that sounds bad, but not as bad as what Nancy said in the break room. Yeah, come on now. Give that man the opportunity to vent or upload or grieve, whatever it is. I don't know, and allow it to happen instead of just trying to one up him. To me.
All right. Where be mad.
Yeah. So, y'all hear me? Okay. All right. There's a lot of great points made, especially when it came to communication styles with women. When it came to the topic of empathy or lack thereof that some women have, and and how a lot of young ladies are reared and how they are brought up, you know, by their fathers or by the other women in their life. Um, I think this is a clear example of, you know, why it's so difficult for men to have safe spaces, to really, you know, speak their truth, to really get the little bit of things that we want to get off of our chest. And you would think that with your woman, the person that you may share a dwelling with or have a family with is, you know, or someone that you're dating is someone that you want to feel strong and comfortable enough to have those conversations with. But sometimes, you know, as the video shows, it's not always that. I mean, the majority of the time, you know, men don't share their feelings and emotions just simply because it's more of a burden to even share them, because when you get them shut down like that, you a lot of times you don't want to even stay in the situation that you're in, because you don't feel loved, um you don't feel adequate really in that situation anymore. You don't feel confident in the situation the same way, because if she doesn't hear me out or understand some of the things that I need to talk about, um, it gets it real difficult to move forward. And sometimes that person only stays only at a certain level with you. They can't go to those other places with you, just because you know they can't handle it, or they can't sit there long enough to hear it and understand it. Let's just be honest, as men, majority of the times we don't fully share how we feel anyway, just because we know there's got to be a level of protection there when it comes to dealing with your woman, that, you know, you've got to protect yourself, or you've got to protect her from um, the real raw news she needs to hear. Because when we do sit down and have these conversations like he was trying to have, it's real tamed. It's real. It's just like a sprinkle of what the real issue is, just to test out the waters. And you guys can tell me if it's not, but most of the time it's the very tip of the iceberg, just to see how she takes that little bit. And then if she takes it well, and if she's understanding and she's listening, then you give her a little bit more truth and a little bit more rawness. But if she can't take that little bit, and she can't hear when you have real um issues, or you have real yeah, problems in that relationship or situation, like I feel like I'm not seen, I'm not being loved, I'm not being cared for, um a lot of times it's just it's going to dissolve. And I think Marcus had a great point on basically just saying that you have to prioritize each other in the relationship. If you don't prioritize time for the two of y'all, to get back to the two of y'all and how you were when you were dating, before the kids got there and before you got just crazy busy with day-to-day things and inundated with that, then you have a place to come back to. But you have to have that in the beginning of the relationship, because if you don't have that in the beginning, you can't build that later.